Houston, Texas, a city on the move, is considered one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the United States and is home to world-class medical, arts, and science industries, among others. With over 3 million people, this region is also known for being nicknamed the oil capital of the world. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the latest innovations in oil and gas technology and a few of the people working behind the scenes who are helping make it all possible. Join us for NOV's 42nd annual Shrimp Boil customer event and learn about the company helping power the industry that powers the world.
It's a beautiful day here in Houston, Texas, where we're all geared up for our 42nd annual Shrimp Boil customer event. Hello and welcome. I'm Michael Gaines, host of the podcast NOV Today, and I'll be your host on this broadcast as we take a virtual tour of leading innovations in the oil and gas industry, as well as talk with industry experts, panelists, and gain customer insight into some of the advancements in this industry. Whether you're brand new to this space or have years of experience, our hope is that you'll gain insight and information to help you understand more about NOV, also our passion for our employees, customers, and our never-ending hunger for developing the world's leading oil and gas technology. So to help me kick off today's event and give a little more background on Shrimp Boil, I have two people here with me right now. We have Katelin Bouquet, who is the corporate events lead, and Damon Trager, the director of promotional marketing for the rig technology segment. So Katelin, Damon, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Katelin, I'll start off with you. So for those that don't know what Shrimp Boil is, or maybe have just never heard of it, could you maybe tell us a little bit about what it is?
Sure. We've hosted this customer event for over 40 years, and it's just a place for us to invite our guests to come and, eat some shrimp, other food and beverages, and showcase our technologies. We have over 130 products and technologies here that we can't show at the OTC booth. So.
Right. So people can come out here and talk with experts and talk to them. Yeah, that's great. And Damon, I know for you with Rig Technologies, you're part of this group. So when people kind of come on site, I think one of the first things they might see is, or hopefully see, is this rig behind us. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. It's surprising when you drive into downtown Houston that you take a right and there's a full 184-foot AC Ideal rig sitting there.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got equipment from all walks of life out here: land, offshore. Our aftermarket operations section is out here telling you how they provide services. And then, like you said, we've got this fantastic rig here. We're ready to give tours if people want to come and get up there and talk to experts and see how these things really operate.
Okay.
All they got to do is come to our tent, get a hard hat, some safety glasses, and take the tour.
So this is a not just kind of look and see, but this is a hands-on type of thing, because I guess we're really wanting to engage customers and let them really talk not only with our experts, but also see it firsthand, right?
It is indeed. You can get up close and personal with all the equipment. You can talk to every product line manager for every piece of equipment that we have here. Ask any questions that you want, and we hope that you follow up with us sometime soon.
Right, absolutely. And I know for those that may have wanted to buy this rig, I see a big sold sign.
They're out of luck.
Right,
yeah, this one's gone.
Well, that's good news. Excellent. So what are some of the rig technologies I know that we have out here? What are some that personally just kind of pique your interest or that you're passionate about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the industry is always trending towards, or it is today, trending towards technology. This is an AC Ideal rig. We've got over 184 of them in the field operating. This rig is operating NOVOS, the NOV operating system, which is an automation platform that really takes the guesswork out of drilling for the drillers. Some of the phrases we use are make every driller the best driller every time. It's a reflexive drilling system, so it operates a lot like a human reflex, and it'll repeat those repetitive tasks so that the driller doesn't have to do it. It's an incredible system. It's on the rig. It's operating today. We welcome everybody to come see it.
And for those that don't know, I know we have the NOVOS system at the NOV Research and Development Technology Center, right, which is in Navasota.
That's right. It's there too. And of course, we're featuring it in our booth at NRG as well. So
right.
you can't miss it. If you're going to come see NOV, you're going to see NOVOS and all of our equipment and our technology that we're featuring.
Right. No, excellent. Well, for those that may not have been out here before, I know that it can be a great experience, so hopefully they're able to come out and join you all at the Shrimp Boil customer event.
We hope they do. We're ready for them.
Good, good. Well, Damon, Katelin, I know you guys have a lot to cover and take care of, so thanks for sitting down and talking with me.
Sure thing.
Thanks for having us.
Great. Well, coming up, we're going to be talking deep down with the Wellbore Technologies team to understand their current solutions, history, and advancements in this area of our business.
The patented FluidHammer performance drilling tool from NOV is part of a system designed to improve ROP in your most challenging drilling applications. By creating a high-frequency axial motion directly in the BHA, the FluidHammer helps to reduce friction and improve drilling efficiency, increasing ROP and extending bit life. Building on our proven oil-sealed bearing technology, this 100% mechanical system is paired with our premium high-performance and high-torque power sections to provide optimal, reliable performance. The FluidHammer can increase performance with fixed cutter or roller cone bits, especially FluidHammer optimized Reid Hycalog bits from NOV. And since the tool requires a minimum weight to engage, it protects the bit both on and off bottom. The result is greater efficiency and cost savings in vertical and directional operations. The FluidHammer Performance Drilling Tool. Efficiency, pound for pound.
Welcome back to Shrimp Boil Live, where we're talking to individuals within the NOV organization who are helping shed light on some of the latest innovations within our company. Right now, we're going to talk with the Wellbore Technology segment. And with me, I have Jennie Flemmons, who is the Director of Marketing and Creative Development for the Downhole Business Unit, and her colleague, Rohan Dsouza, the Product Line Director for Drilling Motors. So Rohan, Jennie, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Michael.
So Jennie, I'll start off with you. So for those that might not be as familiar with the Wellbore Technology segment, could you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure thing. So we have a lot of versatility in our group. We actually manufacture products from drilling all the way through completion, so that every part of the life cycle for drilling. We do everything from surface instrumentation, down through the drill pipe, the specialized coatings within the drill pipe, on down to the drilling tools such as motors and drill bits that actually drill the well. And our tuboscope facility, which is where we are today, actually, they coat 50 million feet of pipe a year, which is pretty amazing. So, yeah, we also do a lot of things like the real-time optimization and all the different high-tech technologies like that as well.
Okay, no, that's excellent. Yep. So, in looking at the Wellbore Technologies segment and also our booth at OTC, or the Offshore Technology Conference, I know that our theme was It's About Time. Can you tell me, for that theme, how does that sort of tie in with Wellbore Technologies?
Well, actually in two different ways. So we have a lot of new products and technologies that we've developed to help people save time in drilling. And then we also, as I mentioned before, have real-time data that we can get from the well.
Right.
So in terms of the saving time, we have an agitator system, which is really fantastic. So just to kind of give an example of how that works, it breaks friction. So if you think about if you're eating spaghetti and you've got a noodle on your plate, if you try to drag that noodle across your plate, it's going to stick and kind of bunch up.
Right.
But if you were to shake it, then you would be able to pull that across. Well, that's pretty much what our tool does. It allows that friction to be broken down whole so that you can get that BHA going where you need it to go. We also have a new Brandt shaker that's been introduced that allows people to add an extra capacity right there on the well site. So that saves from downtime. They used to have to shut down the whole shaker unit, and so they have that now. The other thing that I talked about was real-time data communication. So we have MWD, LWD type products that allow us to get that real-time data straight from the well.
Wow, no, that's excellent. And yeah, I'll have to remember that spaghetti analogy, which is usually how I eat, so that's okay. it works well. So I guess looking at the overall oil and gas industry, I mean, it's constantly changing. And we're talking about time, we're talking about really keeping up with those movements. How is Wellbore Technology sort of kind of grappling that constant changing platform?
So we've done a lot of investing in new technologies and also improving existing technologies because people have really changed the way that they drill wells. They're having to focus on getting things done more quickly, cutting down on expenses where they can. So there's been a lot of investment in different technologies for that. There's a new Grant Prideco connection, the Delta connection, that gives you efficiency in connecting drill pipe. It also cuts down on the overall cost of ownership over the life of the product. So that's really fantastic. That helps out our customers. Also, on the drilling side of things, we have our new downhole adjustable motor, which we're featuring here both at OTC and at Shrimp Boil. This is a really new to the industry technology that allows you to shift the bend of your motor downhole, which is brand new. It saves drillers a whole trip from having to change that bend setting when they're drilling directional wells.
Okay, so kind of staying on the topic of drilling and motors in that regard, I know, Rohan, you're over our drilling motors in the downhole business unit. So thanks for being here, and just wanted to see if you could help educate us a little bit. So a drilling motor, for those that have no idea or might not be that familiar, what is it and kind of how does it work?
Sure, Michael. A drilling motor is placed within the drill string BHA to provide additional power to the bit, power in the form of torque and speed. When the drilling fluid is passed through the motor, the fluid energy gets converted into mechanical energy within the power section. That power is then transmitted through the drive shaft and bearing assembly to the bit. The technology within drilling motors has not remained static. It has continuously evolved. In the 1990s was when a lot of work was done within the arena. That's when we introduced the Vector brand of drilling motors. The drive shaft and adjustable from that time became the standard within the industry. In the mid-2000s was when a lot of work was done on the bearing assembly. That's when we introduced our Vector Series 36 oil seal bearing assembly. The last decade, there's been a lot of focus on the power section. Power sections that provide higher torque, higher power, allow for higher flow rates have now become the standard within the industry. And as a result of that, the other sub-assemblies that I mentioned have been upgraded as well. There's one sub-assembly that had not changed in the last 10, 15 years, and that's the adjustable. With the Vector Series 50 and the Selective downhole adjustable motor that Jennie talked about, we focused on that section of the motor. Being able to shift the bend downhole is something that we see along with other technologies that we've commercialized in the last couple of quarters, where our customers drill longer, faster, and more efficiently. You know, it's surprising, in the mid-2000s, there was a concern that drilling motors would go away. That has not been the case. After the brief downturn in 2008, 2009, motors have come back even stronger. And quite often they're used along with rotary steerables. Just recently we had a motor run in Q1 where a motor worked in tandem with a rotary steerable. It drilled 19,000 feet. It drilled a total of 220 drilling and circulating hours, and it drilled for 9 days. And just to give you a comparison, typically a motor run is anywhere between 35 to 40 hours.
Wow. So I know it sounds like there are runs like that and others that really kind of sort of back up the fact that there's been a lot of investment and development in the motor space. Are there other runs that we know of that have kind of come alongside that in terms of showcasing the advancements in the motor side of things?
There definitely are. Since the beginning of 2017, in the US, our motor market share has nearly doubled, and that's the result of the performance of the drilling motors. Just in Q1 of 2018, we had the longest one-run lateral for an operator that we did in the Permian. The motor drilled approximately 10,600 feet. It was a Vector Series 50 along with an ERT power section. We had what is considered as one of the fastest runs with an operator in the Williston. The motor drilled approximately 226 feet per hour, and it drilled 9,800 feet, again with the Vector Series 50. There have been instances in Q1 where an operator has been able to reduce their spud to TD time from an average of 13 days to approximately 7.7 days. And the last one that I wanted to mention today was a run that took place in the Northeast where the driller was able to shave 8 days of drilling, reduce the number of BHAs that they required, and that was the result of a new technology that we introduced in Q1 of this year, the Impulse technology. It's a technology where we provide, where low amplitude oscillations are provided right at the bit. And what that does is it helps to improve your weight on bit transfer. It improves steerability. Just think of what anti-lock braking systems did to the automobile and now applied to drilling motors.
Right. No, absolutely. So if I'm not mistaken, you have a crystal ball on your desk that can show the future. So if we were to take a peek into that, especially in your world with the drilling motor side of things, what are some things in the looking ahead that we could expect and customers might be on the lookout for?
The selection downhole adjustable motor that Jennie talked about that we are introducing at the OTC at the Shrimp Boil, we really see that as making an impact within the industry. The initial intent of that motor was to save the driller a trip and not having to trip out and back into the hole to change the bend setting. But the other advantages that we are seeing is by being able to shift to the straight position downhole and the lateral, the top drive weight on bit required, the rotary torque required reduces significantly. All of that is now available for the bit versus and available for drilling versus getting lost within the drill string. The other area that we see that we'll be pushing and we'll see more of is the ERT power sections. Just this year, we are introducing 4 new configurations: higher power, higher torque, higher flow rates. I really see within the industry all of these motors, much higher power. It's really it's effectively utilizing that power, and I see more focus on that. And within NOV, we are in an incredible position to enable our customers to do that with the technology that we offer through the various business units and the segments.
Right, absolutely. Well, it sounds that the theme of It's About Time is well baked into the Wellbore Technologies segment. So Rohan, Jennie, thanks so much for sharing with us.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome, Michael.
Another part of the Wellbore Technologies segment includes advancements both in asset management solutions as well as what some term the Internet of Drilling. After the break, we'll talk to 2 people helping lead NOV in these areas.
Innovation touches our core. It's taking it to that next generation of instrumentation, to sensors, to measurements, turning data, reliable data, accurate data, into a value proposition for our customer.
So IntelliServ really simply is like a downhole internet. I can't think of another technology that could be dropped into place, transparent to operations, that could save 3 to 5 drilling days a well. That's incredible. Drilling automation is closed loop control. It's very exciting, and it needs wire drill pipe to make it work. So we think this is going to be every bit as disruptive as the top drive became, as a rotary steerable became.
This is the game changer going forward, where we fully integrate our rigs, our drilling systems, and actually control the drilling operation for the end user, responding instantly to what's going on downhole.
Here with me now is Robert Foster, the director of IntelliServ, and Casey Picard, the product line specialist of TracID. So guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you for having us.
So Robert, I'll start off with you. So we just saw a quick clip about IntelliServ. Can you, for those maybe that aren't familiar or are familiar, could you maybe give us a little bit of information about this Internet of Downhole? What is this particular kind of pipe?
Sure. So wire drill pipe basically gives people the ability to wire the pipe from the surface all the way down to the bottom and the tools in between. So if you want to know more about what's going on downhole, this is a great tool that allows you to do that. It has a transmission speed of 57,600 bits per second, so there's not very much you couldn't get from downhole if you needed it.
Right. So, I mean, in looking at this technology, I mean, it really is kind of a paradigm shift in terms of the information, both speed and the amount of data that we can get from downhole now, right?
It absolutely is. We kind of look at it as the same shift we saw with the rotary, with the top drive from the rotary table. we're seeing a lot of people adopting it for a number of different reasons. Sometimes it's safety, sometimes it's efficiency, but we're always being surprised by the things we do find once they do start using the technology as well. Everything from time savings to additional safety features.
Right, so and a little bit about that. So when you're looking at some of the challenges that customers are facing, how is the wire drill pipe and IntelliServ helping answer those challenges?
Sure, so one of the things that people have to deal with is low resolution imaging from downhole, and usually they have to wait 15, 20 minutes or more to get some of that imaging from bottom hole to surface. And then when they do get it, it's a little lower quality than perhaps the geologists would like. So with wire drill pipe, you can actually get a high quality, high resolution image to the surface, where you can get eyes on it immediately in real time, make decisions about your drilling process and where you need to go and what you need to do.
And just so folks are aware, I mean, this drill pipe, I mean, they can get it now, right? Like, it's available.
It is available right now today, and it's been used in a lot of different areas.
Right. So we've got not only the assets available, but the support team to help roll that out as well.
That is absolutely right. In
Good.
fact, we partnered quite often with Tuboscope and other portions of NOV to help us be more successful and to improve their success level as well.
Right. And I know part of one of the things that we're looking to help our customers with in the success factor is asset management. I know that's one thing that, Casey, you're helping with the TracID technology. And so I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about that. What is TracID, and how does that play a role in this huge kind of world of oil and gas that we're in?
Right. Well, thank you. We're very excited about the new product offering. So TracID is a RFID chip, similar to the Easy Tag on your tollways, where if a car runs through, it's basically a unique identification number, and it's also used for billing and other things. So we've taken that technology and put it into drill pipe, into the pin end of the tool joint for tracking purposes and life cycle management of the products.
So and so for folks that say, okay, well, you know, I have maybe a badge, an RFID, that sounds great, but when we're trying to now scale it up in terms of oil and gas, and you're talking about keeping track of drill pipe, I mean, it's a huge job, right?
That is correct. Basically, it's from cradle to grave from an inspection side, and then also we're partnered up with MD Todco for the auto tally system, which is basically monitoring hours, downhole and rotational hours of the asset.
So when you're looking at the TracID technology, when you're looking at, especially in this particular application, what would be the kind of the flip side of a customer that might not have this technology? How would they otherwise sort of keep track of some of those assets, or what are you seeing with customers that do adopt it?
Right. Well, in the past, it's basically been on an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. So now, basically, you're able to go out there, scan it, and get real data, real time.
Okay. No, that's excellent. So I know one of the things, I have a little bit of background in some downhole tools, and I know one of the things that always comes up is, okay, can it survive in a somewhat of a higher temperature setting? And I think with TracID, it was specifically developed for that kind of application, right?
That is correct. Yeah, that's a great question. This tag has been installed in over 45,000 applications, and it has downhole temperatures of 400 degrees Fahrenheit and temperatures of 22,500 psi. With those conditions, it basically supports all drilling, most drilling operations.
Right. Excellent. Wow. So we've got Internet of Downhole, we've got RFID tags. It sounds like, especially from an asset management and data side, we've really got a lot of things to offer customers and potential solutions. So that's great. Well, guys, thanks for sharing that insight. That's really cool.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, thanks.
When we come back, we'll be talking with several of our rig technologies folks who will help give us some insight into this part of our business.
And now, Action 5 News at 7 with Rhett Bird.
Welcome to Action 5 News at 7. I'm Rhett Bird. It's Monday, July 27th, 1992, and we're covering the 25th Olympiad from sunny Barcelona, Spain. And we have Action 5's Lavendar Brown live via our new satellite feed with the latest from Olympic Village. Lavendar, thanks again for joining us. Now, what has been the biggest surprise, I think, for all of us back here in the States?
Thanks, Rhett. It's good to be here.
Yes. The medal count, as we were talking about, on the American side, has been something...
Yes, Rhett, I'm here. Go ahead.
Yes, the medal count is not what we expected it to be.
The medal count, which is at oddly low levels, probably comes as a surprise to most of you stateside, huh, Rhett?
Yes. So, as I was saying...
Some people are... Folks
give
are
us an
concerned
update on...
about... What is... No, go ahead. It's... I believe that the trash... It's not a concern... the medal count. Yes, the medals.
Lavendar, I
Barcelona and... So anyway, as I was saying...
Welcome back to Shrimp Boil Live, where we're talking with several of our segments and experts about some of the leading technologies NOV is developing. Here with me now is Karl Appleton, Vice President of Marketing for Rig Technologies. Karl, welcome.
Hi.
So, Rig Technologies, for those that may know a little bit about it or maybe nothing at all, could you tell us a little bit about what you have going on and what do you say when someone asks you, okay, rig, tell me about it?
Yeah, sure.
What do you share with them?
So we make really advanced rigs and equipment, and we do that for drilling. That could be drilling on land, it could be drilling offshore. We also make marine and construction equipment for things like offshore pipe laying, things like that. So quite a wide area of things that we cover. And we have customers who depend on us, and they depend on us to help them win. So winning might be, how can I drill a better well? Winning might be, how can I get a better contract? And a lot of the times, if it's an operator, they're thinking about the better well, and if it's a drilling contractor, they're thinking about a better contract. But we live in an ecosystem, so a lot of the things that we do work in both of those spheres.
Right, right. So when you're looking at some of the technologies and solutions that you're working on within Rig, I know that our customers are depending on us, and just kind of a personal insight into you, what are things that really get you excited that are within the rig technology space?
Well, I think that the whole thing is that the industry at the moment has gone through obviously a massive big change as we've gone through this downturn. So as we're coming out of that now, we've got, I think, three things that are coming together. We have people as a path that's coming together. We have machines as a path that's coming together. And then we've got digital as a path that's coming together. And a lot of people don't really know what to do with all those three things coming together, but we do. So I'm pretty pleased that we've got our act together. We know what to do in these kind of areas. We've just won a Spotlight on Technology Award. So 50th year of OTC, and we win a Spotlight on Technology Award. It's really good. And that was for our NOVOS automated drilling system. We've had drillers talk to us and say, that just makes drilling easy.
Right.
We've had operators talk to us and say, that has just given me the best well I've ever had. So it's doing really well. But not everybody's ready to take that big step into digital. So we have other things as well. Just here at Shrimp Boil, we've got equipment upgrades. So if you've already got a rig and you want to upgrade it, get a really good return on investment for an investment you already have paid for, then we can do that. We've got upgrades. We've got iron roughnecks with 25% more power, drawworks 35% more power, top drives 45% more power, and you can get them all now just right off the shelf.
Right.
And then sometimes people just want people to talk to. So we've got people who are called rig consultants. These are guys who've spent 30 years on rigs, and you can just call them up, get them to come out to your rig for 2 weeks or so. They'll make a big report at the end of it, and they'll just give you a big report to go down. Typically, you end up with a 20% better operation if these guys have given you a big report to go down.
No, that's great. So it sounds like, yeah, kind of going on what you said, of those 3 pathways, one being technology, and I know that we've actually got one of those pieces of technology that we're going to look at now. So we've got our own Abigail Brooks, who's standing by to talk to one of our subject matter experts about a piece of equipment we have out here. Abigail?
Thank you, Michael. So happy to be here. I'm here with Robert Goodwin, our product line manager for Top Drives, and he's here to talk with us about anything and everything Top Drive. So thanks so much for being with us today, Robert.
Well, thanks for having me.
So I'll start you off with an easy one. What is a Top Drive and who uses it?
So we're good.
Well, the Top Drive is really the lead singer of the band for a drilling rig. It is one of the most critical pieces of equipment on the drilling rig. It helps incorporate all the other components on the rig, with the pipe handling, the drilling components, the mud components. Think of it really as a big DeWalt drill that you'd use at home, except this has bigger motors, it has a gearbox, and it's able to turn that pipe to be able to drill these wells at very, very long distances.
So who uses it? Who's a customer for a Top Drive? Who uses it and why?
Almost every drilling contractor uses a Top Drive, whether it's a land contractor or whether it's an offshore contractor. You know, those really depend on which side you're using. But everybody uses a Top Drive because it's really the most advanced piece of technology in drilling over the last 40 years. It's enabled you to go from drilling a single piece of pipe to drilling with 3 or 4 pieces of pipe, which essentially speeds up the drilling process. You're able to go 2 to 3 times faster. You're not making all these connections. It's safer for the rig floor. There's not as many people around it. And again, you're able to drill accurately where you need to be able to put this drilling bit. So it's enabled people to drill further and longer wells.
So if I'm in the market for a Top Drive, why should I choose NOV?
Oh, that's an easy question. The real question is, why wouldn't you choose NOV? We have been building Top Drives since 1983. We're really the innovators of the Top Drive. You know, we started off with DC components. We went to AC components. Now we're going to permanent magnet Top Drives. We put these Top Drives anywhere and everywhere in the world, from Arctic conditions to very high ambient, 130 degrees conditions. So they drill in every condition everywhere in the world. But really, it's about our people, and it's about what NOV does. We have facilities all over the world. We have a very robust manufacturing group. We have a great engineering group. We have a great sales group, and it all comes together to help service this unit and to help our customers drill as wells that they need to drill. As well as we listen to our customers and work with our customers on designing these and making them fit into their rigs. So the real question is, why wouldn't you buy an NOV Top Drive?
Yeah, why not? Great. And what new technology is NOV bringing to the Top Drive?
The Top Drive, again, is that critical piece of equipment. And we don't want to change it too much, but we do need to innovate it. And as I said before, the first Top Drives were DC, and then we switched to AC because you can get more power out of it in a smaller unit. And recently we switched to permanent magnet technology, which is even more compact and more powerful. So we're able to drill wells. One of our Top Drives that has a permanent magnet motor has drilled a well over 7 miles long. But along with just making the unit more robust and making the unit higher horsepower, we're doing some things to incorporate it into the rig, to incorporate it into the smarts of the rig, so it knows position, where it is on the rig floor, where it is downhole, what are the motors, what are the conditions of the motors, what are the conditions of the gearbox. And we're switching from more of a calendar-based maintenance schedule. I need to change my oil every 6 months or 6 weeks to, well, how hard am I using the tool? And so we have sensors, we have technology that we can analyze that to be able to go, no, you know what, I can now extend that maintenance cycle from 3 months to 6 months based on how hard I'm using this tool.
Yeah, so actual condition-based rather than just guessing.
Just guessing.
That's great. And so while we're on the subject of innovating and making a great tool better, let's talk about upgrades. So we have behind us the TDS 11 SAE upgrade. So can you walk us through what that upgrade is, and what all does it entail for the customer? What does that process look like?
Well, this is the TDS 11 SAE. This is one of the bread and butter Top Drives. If you look up on the rig, that's a TDS 11 SA, and over here is a TDS 11 SA that's been in the field. We've built over 2,000 of these tools, and with the changing market conditions, we're being sensitive to our customers, and they want to drill with the latest technology, but there's 2,000 of these out there. They don't want to buy a new Top Drive. So we looked at how do we enable our customers to easily take this tool like this one here that's been used and beat up, but how do we take that and make it into a new tool? So we created the TDS 11 SAE. And what the SAE is, it's an enhanced version of the 11. It's a tool that came out of the factory as 11, and then we put higher horsepower motors on it. We upgrade the gearbox. We upgrade the drive house, we upgrade these components, so you're switching from, at 800 horsepower now to 1200. So you're getting a significant increase in power in the same size package, but importantly, without spending a lot of money. So it's a cost-effective way to allow our customers to drill those next wells and the required wells without spending all this money, but still utilizing their assets they have.
That's great. And just a fun fact before we go back to Michael, so are all of our top drives built and manufactured in California? Is that true, or where exactly do we build?
It is true. It's hard to believe, but it's back to the people. What makes a top drive great? Our plant in California is an amazing plant, amazing group of engineers, amazing group of manufacturing professionals, and believe it or not, in the heart of Disneyland, you can see Disneyland from 5 miles away is a plant where we build all these tools. We build tools that are 150 tons all the way up to 1,500 tons. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
All right, well, we learned anything and everything about top drives. I hope you learned something new today. So thanks so much, Robert, for being with us, and we'll give it back to you, Michael.
All right, thanks, Abigail. Well, Robert was talking about some great people, and we have one of those great people here with us right now that joined us. So we've got Lindsy, Sallee, who's the business development manager for Rig Aftermarket. So, Lindsy, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
One of the things Robert was talking about was, supporting our customers both obviously during but after the sale. And we have a group that you're part of, so the Aftermarket group. So could you tell us a little bit about that, and how does that play a role?
Sure. Aftermarket is NOV's commitment to walking with our customers through the long haul. So they've invested in our equipment, and we have a support network that supports them through the life cycle of the equipment operating in the field. So more practically, we have a global network of spares locations and distribution centers. We've got field service technicians of all disciplines that can be deployed globally to any rig in the world. We've got repair locations in just about every continent. We've got field engineered upgrades and modifications that we can deploy for rigs, and training support. It's a comprehensive network that is there for our customers to make sure their assets are working.
So I know one of the things that Karl had mentioned earlier, and you said as well, is basically our customers not only depend on us, but they need us to kind of walk along with them in the highs and lows, and kind of looking at the landscape and how things have changed over time. How has Aftermarket kind of evolved with that changing market?
Sure, absolutely. So even in today's market, there's still quite a bit of headwinds for our customers. I think, rig utilization is still low. Day rates haven't seen much, if any, improvement. There's a lot of costs still in the business, and so our customers have been squeezed quite a bit, their profitability, right? And so we, in turn, have supported them in that, and we've become quite a bit more partnership-minded as an organization, and really seeking to understand what their objectives are. And once we know, they're often focused on uptime, reliability, ownership, and cost improvements, all of those things, and understanding those objectives helps us to tailor objective-driven maintenance agreements with them, repair agreements, things that really help them as an organization achieve what they need so that their rigs can be marketable. So I think we've evolved with them to continue to walk with them.
Right, absolutely. And I know that part of that is really partnering, and I know we have a team that really helps be a consultant to our customers and really bring that expertise to the table, right?
Absolutely,
these are my favorites. These are the rig consultant guys that we've had. They've gone out with drilling contractors. They've gone out onto operators' platforms. I just love what these guys can do.
Yeah, it's a whole network supporting performance of the rig. So regardless, the investment you made in our equipment, we want you to optimize. We want you to get the most out of it. We want your tools to perform. We want your people to perform. We want them to be familiar with how to operate the control systems and set the parameters correctly and all those things. So we do offer kind of a suite of offerings under the rig performance kind of umbrella. And it's really interesting because when you send a team out to work directly with the drill crew, we're able to measure tangible results of that visit, whether it's improved trip times or whatever that may be. We've got a team that's there specifically to help them achieve their performance objectives.
Excellent. Well, that's amazing, and I know that our teams are not only excellent at what they do, but passionate for helping our customers. So that's great. Thanks, Lindsy, for sharing, and Karl, thanks for being here as well.
You're welcome.
Well, we also want to thank Abigail Brooks and Robert Goodwin for joining us as well in the field. As the name implies, technology is at the center of the rig technology segment. One of those technologies leading the way is the NOVOS reflexive drilling system, which was recently named a 2018 winner of the Offshore Technology Conference Spotlight on New Technology. Here's a quick look at the innovative NOV operating system, or NOVOS.
In 2016, a 30-year vision became a reality through the introduction of NOVOS, an automation operating system that uses software to integrate and optimize the machine and process control on the rig.
I think NOVOS is the GPS, you know. Do you want to follow the map or let the GPS take you?
A 41% decrease in connection times proved its worth in the Permian for precision drilling. And more recently, NOVOS has tackled the harsh environment of the Alaskan North Slope, providing a future vision for BP and Parker Drilling.
More and more companies, third party or the drilling company themselves, will be able to incorporate their own ideas and their own designs into apps within the system. If there's a special operation, for instance, that you want done on your rig that you can now apply to all your rigs, just develop one app and you can start on each NOVOS system.
I think NOVOS has given us a glimpse into the future. You know, what's coming our way. Automation of heavy equipment gets people out of the way and takes human error out of it.
If we can get consistent and safe, that's nirvana for us. If we can keep people away from harm's way. We had one specifically challenging well here that called for incredibly tight control to help protect the formations, and NOVOS delivered that to a degree that I've never seen before or experienced before in my career.
With NOVOS, NOV is inviting everyone to be an active participant rather than a bystander in a safer, more consistent drilling experience.
So here with me now are two of the most passionate people I know in the company. Tony Pink, who's the Senior Vice President of Strategic Sales for Reid, and Frank Springett, the Director of Engineering for Research and Development within the Rig Technologies segment. So Tony, Frank, thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, no problem. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we've been talking a little bit about NOVOS through our broadcast today. So Tony, maybe you could kind of sort of condense it all for us. So someone hears NOVOS, help me understand what does that mean and why is it important?
So the big thread there is NOVOS stands for NOV operating system, but that's, you know, a small part of the big umbrella, which is the full NOV automation package. And you know, what we see with NOVOS is really enabling our industry. NOVOS is flying off the shelves at the moment, is enabling our industry to move into that digital world that the rest of society is used to with Silicon Valley. So can the drilling business be that digital, or gain that digital ecosphere? So with our ability to capture downhole data, feed it up at a high speed up through wired drill pipe into the NOVOS control unit, and then give that driller, that new young driller today, 2 years experience, can we give them a learning curve to take it from this to that by giving them that constant feedback from what's going on in their thing. And what we're hearing, and we just seen on the video from BP Alaska, you know, this technology is gaining momentum, and we see that our industry is really embracing what we're doing.
Right.
Frank? Yeah, and I think an important thing to note there is, you know, when you take a look at the historic way that we've been manufacturing wells, you know, you have the stuff that's going on downhole, and then you have these machines on top, and there's nothing that's really linked those two things together. And so what I think is really exciting is that now, by using NOVOS and being able to connect from downhole to the surface, but also being able to automate the process, right? I mean, typically you've got pipe handling systems that can move the pipe at surface really well, but how do you transition to bottom? How do you start your pumps? How do you start rotation? All of those kinds of things have always been, we've depended on the driller. And we've really
we're really not fair to that guy. I mean, the amount of things that we expect him to do are pretty immense. So by being able to take the drilling process and the types of things that, like transitioning bottom, starting pumps and stuff like that, that's all automated now. And we can configure that to what the well needs to be. And the really powerful thing there is that not only can we do it quicker, but we can also treat the downhole tools the way they need to be treated, right? So how can we mitigate vibrations and those kinds of things? And it's really, I think we've just scratched the surface. I mean, with NOVOS, it's in one respect, it's an open platform. Anybody can create an application to drive their processes on. Anybody can drive their processes, their specific processes, right? So an operator or a service company, they know and understand. They know and understand their processes really well. They're the experts at that, so they can create an application that can drive the machine to do it. We as machine manufacturers and designers and things like that, we don't necessarily understand all those idiosyncrasies. So it's really neat to be able to allow the process experts to make their machines really, really powerful.
Right, right. So, I mean, when you're looking at, all, like you said, all these machines that we're making and we're bringing them all together, kind of that interaction between, the people and the machines is really critical. And I know that, that both of you guys are really passionate about really trying to hone in on that relationship and make it beneficial.
So
right?
there's a big cultural change. And it's interesting. You see the technology that Frank and I are talking about, but as you watch that cultural change occur. When we were first starting this, we talked to some of the airlines, about, and they said, oh no, it was actually pretty difficult to get the pilots to embrace autopilot. So now we're seeing in South Texas, we're seeing a guy with 30 years experience suddenly have in front of him basically all the knowledge of his 30 years captured in front of him. He's able to make safe decisions about the wellbore, make educated comments on it. It empowers him. And we just saw that after 6 wells, the operator asked this guy, he said, we're going to shut down the project. He goes, if you take NOVOS off this rig, I quit.
Oh, wow.
So when you see that guy with 30 years experience suddenly believe in this revolutionary technology, and you see a drill crew, 4 different drillers, and you see the young guy who's very technology open, adapt really quickly, then teaches the old guy, then the old guy wants to beat the young guy, and they've got this fantastic process controller to help them do all the repetitive tasks. It's really brilliant to see.
And so I know for customers that are interested and say, okay, well, I'm interested, I'd like to see it, but maybe they're kind of in that in-between area where it's not on the rig, but they want to see it. I know we have a place that can help them see it firsthand, right?
Yeah, we have a test rig up in Navasota. It's an ideal prime rig, and that's a really powerful tool for us. We've been able to test the system, the algorithms, the software, the interface, and how the driller works with that stuff. We've gotten really good feedback from our driller on the rig without having to interrupt operations, which has been really powerful. And another thing that's really kind of important about NOVOS is that it's not the rig of the future. It's every single rig can be the rig of the future because we can, every NOV control system can be upgraded to a NOVOS platform, which gives them that power to automate their processes.
So, I mean, in looking in some of the challenges that the drillers are facing, I know you said it's those repetitive tasks and really helping kind of ease that burden or reduce the learning curve. Is there anything else that you guys are seeing that has kind of developed over time that you say, wow, either we didn't know that was a challenge or it's been known and we're really able to help solve some of that?
I mean, the wow that I've seen the most has been when they suddenly realize that the amount of wasted energy in drilling process, and when we visualized vibration in real time, so they have cause and effect in front of their eyes, and they actually do the opposite to what they're trained to do. They actually turn the rotary speed up, so the pipe is turning faster, and the whole world downhole becomes stable, and the bit literally launches forward and takes off. That, we're killing old dogma. This technology is putting old rules of thumb, tally book, written stories, putting it to bed. And, our industry's come out of a hard time. We're now on the increase, and that, Frank and I have lived that adoption chasm. That just closed tight. We just this week had a major IOC just say, I'm going to put this on every single one of my rigs. Every single one. So
yeah, and I mean, it's been obviously a pretty tough business over the last 3 or 4 years, and we've been investing in this for the last 5 years, and we've invested a lot. I can't say the number, but
Sure,
it's a ton of money, but we understood. I mean, 15 years ago when we started putting together packages, we understood that packages were good for us because obviously we could do everything and deliver a quality product and reduce the risk of our customers. But we also understood that it was going to be less and less about the machines in the future and more about the software and how we can tie it to the well construction process. So this isn't something that we said, oh, hey, things are picking up, let's go make one of these. We've been invested in this for a good many years.
And like you both said, I mean, a lot of it is really you don't have to have a brand new rig in order to have the latest technology. I mean, you use what you have, right?
Exactly. And you see, we were in Saudi Arabia a couple of weeks ago, and I think the one comment I made that I suddenly saw resonate around the room was, this enables you to get exceptional results from ordinary people. It's not about taking people off the rig and lots of people's jobs being removed. It's actually about taking very normal people and allowing them to perform way above their capability because all the smarts are there helping them.
Okay. So, I mean, when you're looking ahead and looking to the future, especially with NOVOS, I mean, as ahead of the curve as it is, what are some things that are really getting you both excited as you're looking at the horizon?
You want to start?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a couple of things, right? One is the philosophy of being able to take an existing rig and making it the rig of the future. So, you know, we've talked about process automation and where that's tying in. We're also looking at a lot of things in the space of robotics and tubular handling in a way that's cost effective. And that's key, right? If you have to buy a brand new rig to do the things that we want to do as an industry, it just doesn't make economical sense. So that's been a big drive for us. But I think the other thing is really starting to understand and see what we don't know yet, right? We've got 24 different companies that have the software development kit that are writing applications today. Operators, drilling contractors, service companies, but half of them are universities and small startup companies, which is really powerful. I mean, it is in a way kind of that open source surge that we see.
And that's exciting. I mean, that's really invigorating.
I've seen 4 amazing app ideas in the last week alone. And you know, you just go, wow, you guys are really thinking how to use this technology. I mean, that's what's going to change the future. The other thing is you know, we're doing this to speed up drilling. But if we take a cost-effective solution, like Frank said, and we can deliver 1% extra production because we put the well in the right place, we drill a gun barrel, 2% extra production, that puts an extra couple of zeros on the deal. So that, you know, that's where the money is. Can we automate the drilling process and deliver a smooth, perfect wellbore? Because the wells are getting 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 mile laterals now, and that's the way we're going.
And so, and kind of last question for you guys. I know one of the things that kind of is the first question that people ask is, okay, well, I know you have this technology, but have you used it different places? And I think the answer is that it can be used, you know, wherever customers are, right?
We're moving pretty quick. We're Saudi Arabia, North Sea, U.S. land, Alaska. So that's we started here because it's in our backyard, but we're starting to spread quick, and I've seen a lot of passion in the Middle East for what we're doing at the moment. They want to do something different.
Good.
Yeah, and we've got 24 systems operational in the field today, right? And they've been working for, you know, the last 6 to 12 months. So it's not a new thing. And we did focus first on land because land is a very difficult market. It's very tight margins financially. And if we can make that product and that system work in an environment that is economically challenging, then when we go to offshore, we have something that's much more likely to be successful.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, great. Well, Tony, Frank, thanks for sharing some insight and passion with me.
Thanks,
and look forward to talking with you again soon.
It was good fun. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, we'll be looking at NOV's third operating segment, the Completion and Production Solution segment, as well as insights into this exciting team.
Status quo, profit loss, downtime. If you suffer from moderate to severe innovation avoidance, once-a-day NOVOS may be right for you. In field trials, NOVOS has been shown to be effective for many struggling with IA. Some side effects to NOVOS include increased drilling consistency, easy installation, and improved safety for your crew. Stop taking NOVOS if you experience fever, confusion, stiff muscles or joints, sweaty palms, temporary blindness or memory loss, or hives under the arms or behind the knees, as these may be signs that you are stuck in your ways, or worse, could be the onset of a severe case of wasting money. Other risks include decreased non-productive time, differentiation of your rig fleet, and cash in your pocket. You are not alone. There is a pathway to treat innovation avoidance. Ask your sales representative if once-a-day NOVOS is right for you.
Welcome back to NOV's Shrimp Boil customer event, where we're talking with industry experts about leading technological innovations and solutions in the oil and gas industry. With me right now are three gentlemen from the Completion and Production Solutions segment. I have Stephen Sullivan, the Chief Sales Officer, Ryan Supak, the Sales Manager for the Pressure Pumping Group, and Ken Barnes, Engineering Manager for CTES. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
So, Stephen, I'll start off with you. When we're looking at the CAPS segment, or as people use it for short, Completion and Production Solutions, can you tell me a little bit about your segment and what you have going on?
Definitely, Mike. And as you mentioned, we are Completion and Production Solutions, typically known as CAPS for short in the industry. And we are a business made up of many segments that, as you can imagine, as the name might indicate, very focused on the completion in the production phase of the life cycle of a well. And with that, Michael, we have many different businesses that range from completion tools to intervention and stimulation equipment, process flow and technology, which will be a lot of valves and closures and pumps. We transition over into fiberglass pipe, can be spoolable, can be jointed pipe. We have XLS connectors, all the way down to subsea infrastructure, and all the way up to a full-blown FPSO. So as you can see, a very wide assortment of businesses that range all the way across the completion and production phase of the well.
Right. So it doesn't sound like any lack of variety under your hat there, huh?
None whatsoever.
Yeah, good. So, so now in looking at that, you cover a broad range, and I know there are some specific challenges that you're helping to address for customers. What would be some of those challenges specifically kind of in your world in the completion side of things?
I think when you look across the businesses, there's a variety of different challenges for each of our different businesses, and some are synchronized from one business unit to another, and some are completely separated. But I can tell you one of the big challenges that we see would be with these extended horizontals. And this is an unconventional wells that we see all over the world, but a very strong allocation of those in West Texas. But with these extended horizontals, we're really being challenged with technology, with innovation. What can we do to deliver, give our customers the ability to get to the end of that well? And with that, our intervention and stimulation equipment business group has a whole variety of world-class solutions, innovation, technology that really help our customers meet some of those challenging demands.
So when we're looking at those challenging demands, as you said, and I know we're kind of sort of narrowing down, when you're looking at the business units within CAPS, what are some of those groups that you feel are able to help address some of the challenges that you just talked about?
Yeah. I mean, specifically, the way we're set up in the segment, we have business units, and then below that, we'd have a variety of business groups.
Okay.
And our intervention and stimulation equipment business unit would have several leading brands or business groups that would address problems, and maybe not problems, but the challenges associated with that. Rollagon would be one, pressure pumping equipment, our coiled tubing units and coiled tubing equipment, the related software and digital transformation technology we have that goes along with that. All of those are very focused on meeting those needs in the unconventional markets.
Okay, and so when we're kind of talking about the unconventionals, and I think you also mentioned pressure pumping. I know, Ryan, that's the world that you get to live in, right? Is on the pressure pumping side. So could you tell me a little bit about what you have going on there, and also I think we might even have some of that equipment here, right?
Yes, sir. So like I said, I'm Ryan, sales manager of our pressure pumping equipment group, which includes some of our premium brands, Rollagon, Interflow, APCO, and Wilco. And with those different brands, we're able to provide solutions in the fracturing market, coil tube and support pumps, cementing, acidizing, and proppant and material handling solutions. So the unit we're showcasing today is one of our fracturing units. What it is, if you're not familiar with frac, the term there, it's a process to pressurize the formation with fluid at high pressures to break up the formation, allowing the oil and gas more easily to escape the formation and come to the production so we can actually utilize that natural resource. So the frac unit itself is actually the workhorse of that. It's the unit that's going to take the low pressure fluids and pump it up to a high pressure point to create anywhere from 5,000 up to 20,000 psi of working pressure on that formation.
Okay, and so the specific model that we have out here for customers that are going to be coming out, what unit is that?
So the model we have today it's our QPT 2501. It's a 2,500 horsepower frac unit. So it's using common components that we package together to make a complete unit with our control solution to make a working system.
Okay, and so I know customers can come and, like I said, get a tour, get some hands-on out here, and talk to you and your colleagues to learn more about that, right?
Yes, sir. One of the other things we're showcasing today is our system. Since it's a very high intensity unit, it has a lot of maintenance that has to be continually done on it to maintain that piece of equipment. And one of the new solutions we've come out today with is Go Connect, which is our new data solution to get all of the information into the cloud so that we can use that information to better understand what's happening on that job. By using both the process data and the machine data off of the unit to come up with a complete envelope of what's happening on that particular unit. And the end goal is to get a full predictive and condition-based maintenance system.
Right. Okay. No, excellent. And kind of going along sort of the row here, I've got Ken. I've heard you're the friendly mad scientist. Would you take that title?
I would love that.
You would love it. So, Ken, you're with our CTES group. So, for those that have no idea what that acronym is, could you spell it out for us and help me understand what you have going on?
Thanks, Mike. It started out a long time ago as coil tubing engineering services, but we're much more than coil tubing today. While a bulk of our equipment is around well modeling software and data acquisition, recently we have been embarking with condition-based maintenance and condition-based monitoring, as well as doing the adventures that we've embarked on with the Go Connect. You'll actually be able to see that today at our booth. We're running a prototype automation nitrogen unit that is able to broadcast the data live into Go Connect, and we're rendering it right there for you to see on TV.
So when you talk about the ability to do that immediately, right? To do it live. Why is that important? Because it sounds like, okay, well, you're just streaming that information, but I think if we talked before, it's a game changer, right?
It is a game changer because it's going to allow your first-tier maintenance personnel to be deployed where they need to be instead of being deployed everywhere. And therefore, you would have your Tier 3 personnel, the maintenance people that are the senior supervisors, watching a larger fleet from a desk somewhere, or from a van, or from their truck if they're mobile in the area. And it's however they want to deploy it, but it makes a smaller group of people much more efficient in managing the maintenance on the equipment.
And so when we're looking at these technological innovations, I know that there's always the push to be able to have that information, that data. And so I know Go Connect is a part of what we're offering the customers as well, right?
Yes, sir. And so the Go Connect is the remote data. As Ryan had alluded to, it's going to lead us towards being able to do predictive analytics in the future. There's 3 base frames that we're using. Asset Link is the first one. That's one that we have out today. Asset Insight is coming. That's going to allow us to see trending and see things failing over time. And then Asset Optimization is going to allow us to predict the failures before they ever even occur.
Right. So be able to do what we can today, and also some advancements, it sounds like, in the future to help customers kind of get ahead of the curve and be proactive versus a reactive state, right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
And it also allows for the Tier 1 personnel, when they show up on the well site, with the current systems that we have on this unit out here in the field, you're able to pull up with your phone and see how well the unit's running. So that way you don't have to go bother the operator. You don't have to get into the high pressure range. You can just sit outside, look at the unit, and know whether or not you have all green, yellows, or if you need to pull it off the well.
Right, good. Well, I look forward to coming back and visiting you all before we close out today. It sounds really exciting. So
look forward to seeing you.
Ken, Ryan, Stephen, thanks so much for sharing what's going on with CAPS.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mike.
you today.
To introduce new technology, you need trusted partners to help you along that path and that process. To talk more about this, NOV's Chief Marketing Officer sat down with the CEO of Noble Corporation to talk more about this relationship and the advancements in the oil and gas industry.
So your engagement with us with NOV, how does that go back far for you? Or
oh, it goes back to National Oil and to Varco and to, to National.
Yeah.
Before National Oil.
Before that.
Before.
So what's the connection for you? How do you think about it, about the relationship of the two companies?
Oh, it's hard to think about either company without the relationship between the two.
Yeah. It's a long history, I think.
It is a long history. Like I said, it goes back. I mean, when Noble, when we're talking about the land rig business, it goes way back because Noble uses a very scientific numbering system for the land rigs. Mm-hmm. If it was in 101, then that was national, and this 100 would have been the first national rig we had, and 101 would have been the second, and 102 would have been one of.
Really?
Started.
So you were buying packages on land as well?
Absolutely.
Wow.
When it was just national. When
that
it was
my
just
first national experience. I think Jim Day was one of the big drivers where Danny Atkins, Jim Day would sit us down and go, you need to take all your divisions and give us a package, and we'd be like, okay. So they really came from Noble.
Well, there you go.
A lot of those ideas.
Yeah. And they're good ideas because it's,
It worked. Not at first. It was painful at first. I remember that.
That's right. There's always growing pains. And when you're in as fulsome as a relationship as this has been, then there always are growing pains.
So the interesting story for us is that you guys are leading with one of our technologies, the NOVOS operating system for automation. How important is it for you guys to be leading with great technology? How important is that?
It's critical to us. I mean, we believe we've worked very hard to hone our fleet into a very highly technical, highly skilled, highly specific fleet, and so it's very important for us to be on the leading edge of automation, and certainly for our clients, it's critical. And we're looking forward to running the NOVOS system, and we're looking forward to our first rig going live with it. It will be interesting.
Yeah, because we've been doing it on land, so this will be pioneering some of the offshore work, which.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you've been a long time with Noble.
I have.
And all the technology has moved along quite a bit, and rigs don't look like they used to. You were talking about Kelly's, and that's where you started. So what do you think has been the biggest difference on a drilling rig that you go out to today from when you started?
We're back to automation and just the skill level of the equipment. You don't see spinning chains anymore. I mean, you've gone from that kind of technology to where we're getting ready to be hands off on most of that sort of equipment.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. 15 years from now, there may be auto tripping on every rig. There may be NOVOS on every rig. I don't know if we'll be there in 15 years, but I think we'll be getting close to those sort of things. But if they hear us talking about 15 years from now, there's a lot of people who are going, we don't need oil and gas 15 years from now because we're going to have solar power. And I say baloney to that, because
there's going to be a lot more people who need a lot more energy.
That's just it.
Yeah, and as energy is available, cultures can develop. Yeah.
And we think we're going to replace all that with wind and power, wind and solar, and
not a fix yet.
Batteries. I don't think so.
We're going to need everything, really. So, Julie, thank you for coming. I appreciate you sharing your insights and your thoughts on technology and Noble drilling and the future.
David, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it, and I enjoy being here with you and celebrating our great relationship between Noble and NOV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything that we as an organization have been able to accomplish is a direct result of our relationships with our customers, but even more so, the culture within our organization. So to talk more about this, I have Bonnie Houston, NOV's Chief Administrative Officer, Amy Utek, metallurgist within the Grant Prideco business unit, and David Reid, who we just saw. So David, that was a pretty great conversation, I think, with Julie that you had. What was special about it for you?
I think for me, my whole career, we've worked with customers who are always there, always supportive, and as you go through years and you get feedback from people and you get to develop the company, the relationships become really important because they become historic, and you get a sense of who we are and a sense of who they are, and it's a very strong relationship. So I like that. Over the years, our industry, it gets to be really fun to really grow strong bonds with your customer and with your team.
Right. I mean, like Karl was saying just a little bit ago, our customers depend on us to run their business and to really move ahead. And so it's great that we can build those relationships.
And you go through hard times together. So when things are tough, I think that's really where the bond begins. You know, when someone's stuck and they need your help, and they reach out and you're responsive, that begins something that carries on for years. And it's really a trust thing that works very well.
Right. I know trust and many other things are the core of the NOV culture. And Bonnie, I know that human resources is an area, one of the many areas that you get to oversee. And so I know that you know firsthand how important that culture is to really who we are as a company.
It is. It's critical. And what's so cool about being here at the Shrimp Boil is I feel like this really is an experience in the NOV culture. So you can go around and talk to anyone who's here and all of the equipment that we have, and you can really experience kind of their passion for the company and for the technologies. You can see the interaction and the camaraderie behind the teams, between the teams and the businesses that we have. But most of all, it's a huge celebration of success of our customers. We are so proud of what they've been able to accomplish using the NOV experience and the NOV toolkit. And it's really a celebration in that. And I think a lot of that together kind of builds the culture that makes us successful. So at the end of the day, you know, we believe we've got great people at this company, and we believe that they have the ability to do great things. And a lot of times when we give them the space to be able to innovate and to do that for our customers, they can accomplish so much. And I think there's a lot of commonality within our NOV employees, and one thing that you'll always notice, and it was evident too in the segment that David had with Julie, is that element of service that our employees have. They certainly have that with our customers. This is a team that's ready to go get them, to tackle any tough challenge and to be there for the oil field's toughest challenges, but also for each other. And so we've noticed that, you know, whether it's for a customer or whether it's for your coworker who has 4 feet of water in their home after a hurricane, this is a team of people who are there for one another and who will step in and do the right thing, and we can count on them to do that time and time again. And it's fun. We do a lot of fun, exciting work with one another. It's a good team to be on.
Good, excellent, and so we're talking about teams and really the community that surrounds that. And I know that in that space, one of the things that we're passionate about is serving each other both in our company and outside. And I know that Amy, that's an area that you're working in. So I know you're part of an effort to really help kind of put that passion into practice. Could you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, sure, Michael. So I'm involved with NOV's Derricks and Diamonds, which is our charitable softball tournament plus. I say plus because we have a number of events that go on throughout the year that raises money for Texas Children's Hospital Cancer and Hematology Center, as well as the Snowdrop Foundation. So just to give you all an idea of the history behind Derricks and Diamonds, this will be our 14th annual tournament. It's going to be this weekend, May 5th and 6th. And over the past 13 years, we've been able to raise $2.9 million. And so one statistic that I always like to share is that 40 years ago, in the 1970s, the pediatric cancer survival rate was at 10%. Today, it's at almost 90%. And a lot of that is due to the donations and the research funding that the hospital is able to get through events like Derricks and Diamonds.
And so looking at that initiative, I know that it's not necessarily limited to just NOV. We can get participation from those even outside the company, right?
Yeah, so the tournament this weekend at Cullen Park, we have 35 teams. They're made up of companies all throughout the Houston area. A lot of them are oil and gas. Noble Drilling is actually one of our participants. They've been participating in the tournament since 2009. So not only are they a partner with us in business, but they're also a partner with us in the community.
Right. And so I know that being a part of Derrickson Diamonds, it's not something that anyone's twisting your arm and saying, okay, Amy, you better get out there. I know that you do it because you're passionate about it, right?
Yeah, so I've been involved with the tournament for the past 6 years, and many on our committee. We've got a committee of over 30 people that work on this year-round within NOV. And this is in addition to their day jobs. They're all passionate as well, and many of them have been involved year after year. We've also got over 50 volunteers coming out to the tournament this weekend, and that's all made up of NOV employees.
And so I know that part of that in raising funds, there's a way that people can get involved with that. If they want to find out maybe just a little more information, more than what we were able to cover today, where can they go to see that information?
Yeah, so that information is available on our website, which is www.nov.com/Derrickson Diamonds. That has all sorts of information about our upcoming tournament, as well as other ways to get involved by participating in our raffle, or just if you want to come out to the tournament, everyone in the Houston area is welcome.
Excellent, good. Yeah, well, we'll definitely look forward to that. And so a metallurgist giving back. I think that's a cool, that's a new T-shirt. So I look forward to seeing you wear that.
Yeah.
But Amy, Bonnie, David, thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, David's going to join us and two other experts as we take a big picture view of the oil and gas industry and some of the ways NOV is addressing this head on. We're back here at NOV's 42nd annual Shrimp Boil customer event, where we're talking about technologies and solutions that are helping power the industry that powers the world. I'm Michael Gaines, and I'm joined by a panel of NOV experts who have a keen perspective on the market challenges and some of the ways NOV is helping generate solutions for customers. With me is Robin McMillan, Senior Vice President of Business Development, Soraya Carvalho, one of our fleet care managers, and David Reid, NOV's Chief Marketing Officer. So welcome to you all.
Thanks. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
So Robin, I'll start off with you. As you look at oil and gas kind of on a broad scale, so we're taking a 50,000-foot level, what are some areas that have really kind of grabbed your attention, especially where we're kind of looking in the downhole space?
Well, if you look at what's really grabbed our attention over the last few years is the fact that the commodity price has been so low that we've had to help our ultimate clients, the operators, make more of their assets more commercial, so they can get back to drilling. So when we were looking at $40 a barrel, and they're looking at places both offshore and onshore, well, where are they going to drill next? So it's been clear that the technologies that have been adopted recently have helped them achieve that. So the technologies you've heard about today here and also down at the ODC have helped them get closer and closer to what we call the perfect wellbore, which would be a really good quality wellbore in the perfect place, in the perfect location. And the technology, we've talked about some of those today, some of the automation, certainly we know that provides a better quality wellbore. The visibility from downhole means that you can put it in the right place. It means that basically the geologists have a lot more control as to exactly where this well is going to land. And so it's been, they say don't waste a good downturn, and I think the industry has taken full advantage of the fact that there were technologies available and they're now being adopted, and we're seeing the results. Right.
And so kind of keeping in line with that, Soraya, I know you're part of a group called Fleet Care. So, in keeping in with what Robin's talking about, really meeting the needs of our customers and coming around, I know Fleet Care is a part of that. Could you maybe help us understand what is that and how does it play a role in the overall big picture?
Sure, Michael. So Fleet Care is part of our aftermarket team, and we saw a need for to be closer with the customer, just like Robin said, in these tough times. So we work with the customer on the business development side, and we help our customer to plan for the maintenance and to be with the customer for the life cycle of the equipment. So we're on site with customer, and we combine the data side with the analytics and the human piece. So we're together with the customer.
So I mean, when you're looking at Fleet Care and what you're doing to the customers, just personally, I mean, what really excites you about what you do and how you're able to really help our customers?
It's just being there for our customer when they need us, and no matter what, if it's that it's weekends, late night, and also planning with our customer for that next well, because I think now we're leaving on a phase where we go well by well. So when it's end of well time and we need to have that maintenance up and going for the next well, we're there with our customer.
Right, absolutely. And David, I know that your background actually started you out working on top drives, which we had seen before, but now you're passionate about all kinds of stuff. I mean, what really in your discussions with customers, but also looking at the market, is really kind of grabbing your attention?
Well, I think what's most interesting is the application of technologies. As digital technologies have come along, we've been working on that. Even when times were good, we were investing so that when we get to times like this, we really can adopt fast. And so people are starting to expect the things that we're delivering, because in our lives we're experiencing a change in digital. And as that changes, we've kind of been able to come in just in time and deliver value where it counts. So I think it's really where we can constantly be hitting the right pace for the market with the right value, focused on what the customers want. And so if we have that answer, we stay in business. If we miss that connection, and we can have the great service without the right technology, and we'll miss it. And so it's up to us to continue to be investing in the right places and focusing on what the need of the customer is. And that's really where the closeness helps. We can constantly be listening to our customers and their customers and work out really what's needed next. And as long as we're having that conversation, our investment right now can be a lot more relevant when the time comes.
So I know all three of you are closely related to really, like you said, being there for our customers and really understanding those challenges. As you talk about digital and the solutions that are kind of coming down the pike, what about that really gets you excited, and what are customers really asking for in that space?
I think the idea of model change in the future, we've been doing business a certain way, but it's not rewarding people for the work they do. It's people are renting rigs, they're renting equipment, and there's a lot of waste in the cost model. So it's really, can we find ways to change the model? And actually, apps are going to change that. Downhole connection to the well are going to change that. And here comes a train. So.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Plow ahead, right?
So yeah. So I think it is. It's really about the strength of having value that you can deliver. And so for us, understanding it and doing back work, so we know in a downturn we're going to climb up. So our investments right now are on a future that's there. Our investment 5-7 years ago was really some R&D that could deliver now, and so that's really been technology. So I think it's the use of digital and the awareness of systems of how well they are, and being able to let us know where parts are, what kind of support do I need, what kind of service do I need. If we can create systems that can make that much lower cost, we can change the model, and that means people can start delivering better wells like Robin was talking about.
Right.
If you can deliver a better well and be rewarded for that, now you're more in line with what the customer wants. And so I think that gets really exciting. So we've got a whole range of technologies that are just unique to NOV. There are people have pieces, but nobody's been putting these pieces together since around 2000. We started looking at some standardization. The machines can now communicate to each other, looking at connecting into the well, being able to connect back to the service base. So we've been investing there for quite some time, and that's what gives us strength in these downtimes and as we go up into better times.
I was going to say, it's really great to be part of an organisation that had the foresight to bring together the sensors from downhole with a control system, and a programmable control system now, and the transmission that allows those two to talk to each other. And in line with that, with the technology development, with that research and development technology centre that we have in Navasota, we're now able to develop tools and systems and equipment a lot quicker than we ever were. With our own rig, with a full rig crew, working all week. Anything that's new, whether it's rig equipment or downhole tools, we can test it out there. We're not now reliant on either a third-party facility or on our clients, asking to run a prototype on a commercial job. We can now do it all ourselves, which means that the iterative process you go through to develop new tools and equipment is happening a lot faster.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I know it is exciting to see the advances. I mean, even in my time in this organization and in the industry, seeing the quick ramp up of the advancements, and again, using automation, using technologies like NOVOS to really answer those challenges that for years we weren't able to do. So that's exciting. Well, good. Well, David, Robin, Soraya, thanks for sharing some of your insight there.
It's great.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
So NOV is a global family of thousands of individuals working as one team to create lasting impact for ourselves, for our customers, and for the communities where we live and work. We take responsibility for each other and for our company's future, knowing that personal ownership leads to broader success. We believe in purposeful innovation because we see what others don't see and we act. We believe in service above all, and our singular goal is to move our customers' business forward. We hope that you've seen this and more today and have learned a little bit about who we are as a company. And so one of the things that we wanted to share is a little bit from our CEO, Clay Williams, and our Chief Technology Officer, Hege Kverneland, who are here to share a little bit about this guy, about David. So Clay, Hege, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here. Great to see so many customers and friends out here at the NOV Shrimp Boil, and we have fantastic weather. And by the way, David Reid, our Chief Marketing Officer, sitting here next to me, wondering what the heck I'm doing here now because this wasn't on the script, right?
Exactly. I did my best to keep this under wraps as best possible. So.
Exactly. And so, and we have Hege Kverneland, our Chief Technology Officer, and Tony Pink from the Wellbore Technologies segment. And we're here, everybody knows our Chief Marketing Officer, David Reid's very creative and very artistic. And what a lot of people may not know is that he's also scientific and very progressive thinking, and actually, along with Tony Pink, applied for a patent back in 2011.
That's right.
If you remember that, around closed-loop automated drilling. It was a long time ago.
Sounds familiar.
A cycle or two ago. And but basically, a very innovative way to drill using data from the bottom of the hole, communicated up through a telemetry system, in our case, wire drill pipe at a high rate of speed that can actually control the rig. Anyway, that patent was just recently awarded. So Hege Kverneland and I are here to present David with a plaque, which recognizes the award of that patent, and to congratulate you live on the air, and Tony, on your creativity and technology, and really very, very proud. And there's so many terrific technical scientists and engineers across NOV who are coming up with new and better ways for the industry to operate that are safer and more efficient. And Hege and I are just very, very proud of the great work that you guys do. And also want to mention that although he's not here on camera because he's actually in the truck kind of organizing things behind the scene, Paul Dufio, who's part of this, also has 2 patents. So congratulations, Paul, and thanks for all the hard work and the creativity.
And I also just want to add, though, because we have a lot of engineers that's getting these plaques, and we're delivering them out every year. And I think we have over 100 plaques delivered out this year for people that's working on new ideas and getting that. So we're very proud of that. Right. And we need to continue having engineers doing that. That's great.
We really are, and very, very proud of all of them out there and all of you who are listening that are part of that. NOV continues to advance our technology and help our customers do a better job delivering oil and gas more safely and more efficiently and with less environmental impact. And our technology and our reputation for technology just gets better and better. So
and of course, we got 2 technology awards
Yes,
this
we
year.
did. Yes, we did. Why don't you say a word about that?
Yes, we did receive, well, as an exhibitor, we're allowed to apply for 2 awards every year, and we won 2.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Exactly, 100% rate. So
we're batting 1,000, right?
So we got on our C-Box technology, which is seawater treatment, and we put the whole box on the seabed and treat the water so that it's good enough quality to actually pump it down to the well for water injection. And the second one is on NOVOS, which is sort of related to exactly the patent that David got now and Tony got, because it's automated drilling, it's linking it to downhole telemetry and getting that, so it's the whole system, so definitely linked to it. So it takes time before when we apply for something till it's approved and when we actually get it out, though, but when we get it out, it's dynamite.
Right. Well, excellent. Well, Tony, David, absolutely, congratulations. It's exciting to work with both of you, and I know that was very hard-earned and well-deserved, so congrats.
Thanks.
Good.
And Michael, again, I was told that Rhett Burns was going to be hosting this. I'm looking forward to meeting that guy.
I wish I could find him. I mean, I'm looking around for him. I don't see him. Maybe next time.
Lavendar Brown.
Maybe next time they'll materialize. I'll have to put a word out to them. Well, good. Well, thank you all for joining us. And for us here at NOV, that's going to do it for us on this broadcast. We want to thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions about the topics or technologies mentioned on today's broadcast, feel free to ask a question in the Facebook comments section below, or you can connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or on NOV.com. We want to thank all of our guests, the production team, and especially you for joining us here at NOV's 42nd Annual Shrimp Boil Customer Event. For all of us here at NOV, we wish you all the best, and we'll talk to you again next time.